So now, you know that you have to prepare the soil of your garden. You have to clear that dirt. You have to remove the weeds. But you have to water that soil. You also dropped a lot of weight that you were carrying. Now you're traveling light. That's when the fourth step comes in. You have to learn to accept yourself. You have to love yourself. Love is a nutrient better than any vitamins that you can take, any minerals, any natural juices, or herbal medicines. Science has shown that when we have a thought, the brain produces a substance called neuropeptides, which travels all over your body. I want you to imagine a lemon. Touch it, smell it. Imagine that you're cutting it. Taste it. Right now, many of you are salivating. I know I am. You don't have a lemon in your hand. You didn't taste the lemon, but your brain thought you did. When you look at someone you love, don't you feel a little rush of, I don't know, a warmth inside? That's not a heater. You don't have a heater in there. Those are the neuropeptides. And these substances are directly linked to your immune system. Everything we feel and we do has an impact in your body. So loving yourself is great for your health. You need to look at yourself with eyes of love. I did that. Because when you're alone and you make decisions and you go inside your house and that house is empty, you don't feel much love. Thank God I had my daughter Maggie there, always, to give me a smile. Mom, you can do it. If she would see me crying, she would say, Mom, stop crying. You can do it. I've learned from my kids. I have learned from you guys. I have learned from everybody. And I learned to love myself, just as who I am. I want you to love yourselves just like you are, with the big hips, or with the nose, or if you happen to have, the eyes with all those things here, that means that you're laughing a lot. Isn't it? Love is food for your soul. It is proven with newborns. Newborns that are stayed in the hospital because the parents can't take care of them. They notice that those that get held by other people, they do grow better. They evolve. They get their developmental stages right. Those that nobody touches, they pretty much die. I want you to apply love in all its aspects. Let love filter in your thoughts, your actions, and words. Remember, you can only have one thought at a time. You can have a thought which passes through the filter of the positive thoughts. Call it the filter of positive. But if you have a filter that is negative, then you're going to have negative thoughts, then you're going to have fear. Which filter will you choose? It's your decision. The language you choose to talk to yourself makes you grow, gives you love. Have you ever read anything about when you go to plants and you water them, but you talk to them? Those flowers grow bigger. I know they say scientifically it's the oxygen. Well, I want you to give yourself oxygen. Make a conscious decision to use positive language, the language of love. Those words can become a blessing in your life. I am sure you know someone in your life that brings the best in you. Where I work in the station, there's 2 receptions, one in the bottom, one on the second floor. And I go through the first floor, and Alice always has a smile. She always has something nice to tell me. She started my day. Then I go up there, and Esther has a different way of showing love. She'll bring you a little cafecito. Everything is different, but it's the same. It makes me feel wanted and loved. You don't even need to make anything up. She just says something as simple as, I love the blue color on you. Do the same thing for others. Don't forget to apply that positive language to yourself. Look at yourselves in the mirror every morning. That's how you start the day. And look at it, but after you have put the makeup, you have done your beard, and then look at yourself and say, hey, I'm looking great. Tell yourself, I am lovable. Isn't that a wonderful way to start your day? I guarantee you that it will be. How do we apply everything that we have talked about to your daily life? Think about what you want to ask yourself. Is what you're doing bringing you closer to your goals? Maybe you're looking to get someone special for you. I get a lot of calls from women that said, oh, I am so lonely. I don't have a man in my life. What do I do? I said, okay, tell me a little bit about your routine. Well, I go to work at 7 o'clock. I get home at about 8 o'clock. I put my pajamas. And I said, you're not going to find a man like that. Especially those pajamas that you're wearing. You know, one of those that, like this. Okay, so if you want something, you have to align your objectives with what you want in life. And what are you doing about it? Get out there, take a salsa class. Do something different with your life. Take classes like financial classes. Learn a little bit more about it. I said, but am I going to find a man there? I said, see, you're focusing on the wrong thing. You have to focus in bringing life into your life. You have to bring something exciting into your life. Are you looking, for instance, to improve your relationship with your kids or your spouse? But you go home and the first thing, oh, you didn't pick up this, you didn't do this, you didn't do... You're a sergeant. How are you going to improve that situation at home? You have to start using positive language. Even though if you have to write it down in a script, I today will go home, smile at my wife or smile at my husband, tell him how much I love him, tell him how beautiful his blue eyes are. And then if you want to fight, that's later, okay? But you have to do this, practice it. It's a script. I know that living with someone can be difficult. Even if there is love, you're going to have days that you don't want to deal with it. But you're going to have to make a decision of your life. Do you want to be right all the time, or you want to have peace? What's it going to be? Remember, look for what makes you feel passion. Perhaps you don't have to search far. Perhaps you have it all around you, but you don't realize it. I like the story of a fisherman. There's this businessman, you know, Harvard graduate and all. You know, he is very tired, so he decides to take a little vacation down to a little Caribbean island. He's there sitting on a dock when he sees a fisherman approaching with his little boat, you know, goes. The boat arrives, and he looks in, and he sees, oh, those are beautiful fish you have there. And the fisherman says, yeah. He says, well, how long did it take you to catch that? Not long. And, you know, businessman. But why are you coming in so early? What are you going to do the rest of your day? Well, I'm going to go home, take a shower, play with my kids, have a siesta with my wife, and then later on, after I have my dinner, I grab my guitar and I go into town and have fun with my friends and a glass of wine. So the businessman says, oh, you are wasting your life away. Why don't you keep on fishing until like 1 o'clock? Come back with more fish. If you have more fish, you have more money. So the fisherman says, and then what? Well, then you can move to the capital, live there with all this money, and then what? Well, then you make your company public. Can you imagine? That's the best thing for you. And he says, and then what? So, well, then you're a rich man. You can move into any Caribbean island, live there peacefully, play your guitar if you want to, have all the fun in the world. And the fisherman says, wait a minute, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Exactly what I'm doing right now. And perhaps you are like that fisherman. Perhaps some of the things you have now are not so bad. Value them. Following these steps, we start on a new path in our journey. It is a new way of living your life, exploring your inner world. I know that if I do not explore my 4 rooms in my house, if I don't go to my spiritual room, if I don't go to my mental room every day, and sometimes, trust me, 5, 6 times a day to get that energy going, it's something we need to do again and again. This is not something that I'm telling you that you do once and that's it. It doesn't happen that way. If you want to have a much more fuller life, you need to come from within. Because if you don't do it, and if you don't do it every year, that tree will not bloom every year. I am not the same person I was 15 years ago. I know you know that. I'm not the same person I was yesterday. You will find the truth inside yourself when you are in absolute silence. Meditations are like a door or a window that really lets the light come in and reality sets in. To meditate, don't think you have to be so complicated to wear something on you special, get a mat, and go, You don't need that. You can do it in a train, or even before getting out of bed. I have learned that's my best way. Live behind the limits of the physical world, such as finances or work. Live behind the criticism inside you, because you know they're going to be there. Dream beyond your limitations, just like Alfredito's parents have done. Those limitations are the product of your ego. Imagine if they had not done that. Continue to believe that they can continue to do this. Be like me, leave the fear behind. Listen to the voice that calls you to live fully. At that moment, your inner flame is going to show you the way. And now, I'd like to show you a recipe for life. I don't know if you ever received recipes from your aunt or from your uncle or from your daughter. And, you know, there are specific ingredients that you really can't change or it's not going to work. But I always like to put a little bit of me in that recipe. I'm just going to give you a recipe. You're going to put the amounts according to how you like it. The first ingredient is to analyze yourself. What do I want from my life? And that's very important. You have to ask the question. You can't get answers without a question. The second ingredient is live the present. Don't think about what happened yesterday, or what happened 10 years ago, or what happened 40 years ago. As a psychologist, I know it's hard, but love others. Come out of yourself and love yourself, but live in the present. Don't live in the past, nor in the future. In order to analyze our lives, we have to go to the present. You have to meditate. That's the third ingredient. This is what helps you calm yourselves and your mind by way of introspection. It's the moment we start to realize who we really are, and we begin to define ourselves in our own terms and not say what others say about us. We define ourselves. You don't know anything about money, somebody told you. I said, well, you don't ever give me an opportunity to take care of my budget. If it is true what that person is saying, then maybe you need to learn. Maybe you need to take some classes. Or if it is not true, either you say it and says, I know, you just haven't given me the opportunity. And then if it continues, let it go. Imagine that you have Teflon all over you. Let it fly. Don't let it bother you. In meditation, you're going to get closer to your truth. Connect with nature. I know that for me is key. The natural world that I have around me. Every morning I can hear a bird. I know almost the time that it is because I know the bird is singing. It doesn't matter where you live. Whenever I go to a city or out in the country, I'm always looking for that piece of sky, that blue sky. The fourth ingredient is aware. Be aware of your tourist guides. And they sometimes can be a child. It can be your boss. Even though you are angry at that boss, see what is true about that she's saying or he's saying, and then apply it to your life. They will know, those people that you're going to encounter in your life, they will know that they're your masters because sometimes they're going to tell you They're going to say, you know, you have this gift. I wouldn't be here today if 10 people haven't said, you have this gift. Do it. And gifts are different. They don't always have to be that person on the radio. I had a gift as a teacher. I had a gift as a counselor. I had different gifts that I have used during my life to come where I am today. The fifth ingredient is surround yourself with positive people. Okay? And that's hard. That's very hard. But that doesn't mean you're going to throw away the negative people. Because you know what? Maybe you are the person who has to change them. Don't work too hard on it, though, because it'll bring you down if you're not sure. But surround yourself. If there was, let's say, 85% of the people in your life are positive, you're fine. In fact, if there's only 2% negative, that's even better, because you'll have more energy to deal with those who are negative. Find mantras that inspire you. You're going to say, what the heck is mantras? I know that for me, in the hardest moments in my life, I have found a peace in the serenity prayer. Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change those that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's my mantra. Create goals that are in line with your truth. Remember, your life is a series of decisions. There's some that are small, some are big, but don't run away from those decisions. Make your decisions. Even if things don't turn out well, you can always learn from that experience. Finally, be thankful every day. You have many blessings. Affirm them. I remember when I was in the wheelchair the first time that I would look at the coffee maker. I'd say, okay, that's going to be my first step. When am I going to make my own coffee? And I had a step to go, so I had to be careful. When I did that, I was so thankful. I said, thank you, God, I'm making my own coffee. When I was able to get the newspaper, that's a big one. I said, oh my God, I'm going to get the paper. Do you know that every day, after the last one was a year, I still thank God every day I go and get the newspaper. Be appreciative of the little gifts that you have in life. I would like you to think about the journey you're in. Take a seat on the road. Leave your worries somewhere. Look around you. Survey your path with new eyes of serenity and wisdom. Understand that your life is a treasure, that you have already opened that trunk with all the gifts. For your trip, you don't need a heavy luggage. Discard those things that weigh you down. For this journey, you have everything you need inside of you. Your questions will begin to be answered. You will learn to open and close chapters in your life with renewed energy. Every time you look inward, you will feel more at peace. You already know your journey. You have been on it many times. Let calm surround you. The old fears disappear. The new you is reborn. I know that. In that journey, you will find your passion. The fruits of your garden will blossom. Your garden is going to be so beautiful. I promise you that if you do these things, you will be the most beautiful flower or the more beautiful fruit that there is in that garden. Enjoy it.